Hey, Brandon, pour me another one.
I mean, I still want to drink though.
Oh yeah, me too. I'm just saying.
I'm here. We here now.
Okay, I'm glad.
We locked in.
I was a little worried, man. You walked in here.
No. I'm just hungry.
Okay.
Bro, it's been the last 48 hours. I went to work. Right, I worked the last like 3 days.
Yeah.
I worked like a 9-hour shift, and then I worked a 9-hour shift, and then right after that, I didn't even go home. Just changed and then went to the show. Right.
Yeah.
And then right after the show, we slide to the after party. We kick it from, and I didn't even drink for real that. I had like one brew, and niggas had like bottles and everything. But I was like, no, I gotta get up and go to work.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right. And then had to get up early again to go right back to work. And then right after work, forgot my equipment for the pod.
Dang.
had to go home and then get my stuff, shower, and then come back out. It's been I'm tired right now. Like I'm tired.
Hey, man.
But I'm cool. But I'm here.
Yeah.
Because the pod takes precedence.
Yeah, man. We gotta make sure we keep giving the people what they want.
Listen, man. I'm back and better than ever.
Yeah.
You can say. All right, we here, man. I'm ready to get to it.
Let's get it.
We do need to name that section for fans though when they give us a little pushback.
I mean, this is
what did you call it?
Like pushback. I think I said pushback or
feedback.
Clapback.
I'm dead.
Clapback.
That's the clapback.
We're gonna clap back.
that record wasn't bad.
It actually wasn't.
But it wasn't good.
It was very timely.
Yeah, it wasn't good for the beef, but it was a cool record when it came out. Let's take him to war.
He said, "We gonna clap."
Man, what a guy Ja Rule. Now, I told you how I was saying for the longest time they could check my tweets and go back. Ja Rule needed a verses, then he had that verses, and then
he murdered.
To be done.
He murdered it.
Are we ready?
I guess not.
But we ready though. The pod is ready.
All right. It's Wednesday.
Jeez.
Got some whiskey in the cup. You know what time it is.
Sheesh.
Whiskey Wednesdays. We back, man.
We back.
Cheers. How you feeling, man?
Man, hold on. Get the chairs.
Oh yeah, my fault. There it is. How you feeling? You were telling me you've been working lately.
Man, listen, I'm trying, bro. I'm trying to I'm burning the candle on both ends. I'm exhausting every talent I have right now. I'm just working. I like being busy. I feel like it's good practice for when things move in another direction. You know what? Somebody asked me the other day. They said, "Yo, what's your dream job? What would you want to do with your life if you could do anything?" And some people are like, "Oh, I want to be like an astronaut or something." It felt like it was like a room full of kids or something. I said, what I would want to do is exactly what I do right now, but with a larger budget. And that's that. And that's exactly how I feel. So right now, doing shows, recording the podcast, working on music, working on this film, executive producing that, and composing the music for that. And I'm also going to be in it. So I'm busy and still working a full-time job. So all of that together has kept me kind of tired, kind of busy, but it's a good tired. So over the last 48 hours, went to work, left work, did a show. Shout out to my brother J-Ho. Congratulations on your EP, your album.
Yeah, man.
I had the honor of featuring on one of the tracks. It's called Bleed. His album is called Make Time for Love. You can find it on all DSPs, all digital streaming platforms. J-Ho is a multi-talented musician, dancer, videographer, actor, whatever you need, J-Ho can do it. And we had a good time at his album release last night. Met a lot of very nice people, very beautiful people, very talented people. And I'll just say very beautiful people in that joint. You know what I'm saying? And I got to perform a little number, a little ditty. You know what I'm saying? Take that. And so I got to perform my new single, My Baby, which is out right now on all streaming platforms. My new single, My Baby, is out right now on all single. We call it edit. My new single, My Baby, is out right now on all streaming platforms. My new single, My Baby, is out right now on all streaming platforms. The ultimate midget. The Johnny when I need him. Shout out to Big Cats. The midget, the ultimate man, the measure. Yeah, I don't know, bro.
Yeah, man, that's what's up. I always say, it's always a blessing to be able to be working, because as artists, I think all of us know how it feels to not be working, and it sucks. Like that's really the times when you kind of start questioning yourself, kind of dealing with doubt. And that's something that all artists, I mean, people in general face, but
yeah,
artists in particular. So if you guys do know someone who is just an artist of some sort, whether it's visual, performance, check in on them from time to time, because a lot of times you all see the good, you see it, we're posting on social media when we're moving, but think about us when we're, kind of in our creative spaces and we're trying to give you all our best while, still pushing through the mental. And, sometimes some weeks and some months we might not be working. A lot of times when you're not moving and you're not working, this ain't a 9 to 5, you know what I mean? So if that's not happening, sometimes you can kind of have a little cloudy space in your head. So
for sure.
It's always a good thing when you are working.
Honestly, anybody that's chasing any dream that they have, you know what I'm saying, and not looking to just solely work and support someone else's dream. Like anyone that's out here chasing their dreams, check on them because they're working sun up to sundown.
Yep.
Anytime they're not working at whatever their day job is, they're working on their craft. So
yep.
It can be a struggle at times, but it's also very rewarding when you can feel something that you created yourself that comes out of you, see it come to fruition and see it, connect with other people.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I feel good about that. So we had a great show, great venue. Shout out to the Eden Hotel in DC.
Yeah, it was cool to come check y'all out, man. Y'all did a good job, man.
Eden was nice.
Eden
was very nice, and I definitely plan on going back in there and getting festive.
Yeah,
because I think it's built for that.
Yeah. I had to come in there, a little.
What you had to do?
I had to come in there a little discreet. I didn't want people to, come up and, start asking me if I'm performing and like,
That's what you know about to happen? Yeah, you came in incognito.
Yeah.
You thought they was gonna ask for your autograph.
Nah, I'm messing with you, man.
I know.
It really was a good time. I'm glad I was able to make it out.
I'm glad you did as well.
Yeah, and it was good stuff. And it's always just nice to see new artists.
Yeah.
I hadn't been able to see any of those people who performed before you, so it was cool stuff. Like, and then it's always a nice opportunity to go and network with people, and it was cool. It was cool to be able to go and check you guys out. So
I agree, man. And me and J-Ho, we already had a discussion. We're definitely gonna put some more shows together.
Nice.
So we're gonna do some good stuff. Yeah. I'm gonna give y'all a full set next time. I'm not gonna tease you with one record. But like I said, my new single, My Baby, is out right now on all digital streaming platforms. So if you want to go ahead and hear that, by all means do that. So we good. We ready to go, man.
Yeah. So we got a lot of topics today. Last episode we got a little real. And I think we're gonna get a little real this episode too with some of these topics, man. This is what we do. So
about that, man. I think the realest topic we had was that Genuine and Sisqo topic. By the way, if you're listening on Spotify for that last episode, there is a poll up there where you can actually answer the question, which one had more feeling and more emotion in it. Was it Sisqo in the Thong Song or Genuine in those jeans?
Yeah.
So please answer that. And when we see the results, we are going to mention it on the next episode.
And as you were like, I listened back to the episode and I was like, bro, you were actually absolutely right about how passionate he was about fitting. I never really thought about it literally that way. And the
line is,
he was completely,
is there any more room in those jeans?
But I never thought about it literally. Like, this man really wanted to get in there with her.
He's a wild boy.
That's absolutely insane. So look, we got two random topics that we're gonna hit to start off, and then we're gonna jump into what we really want to get to. But I saw a post today from Safari that said, if you are paying anything under $100 for a haircut, chances are you are getting zeked.
Okay.
And he also put the $ after the digits. So he put $100
That's nasty.
which is actually insane.
That's nasty.
So I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that to see where we actually are in our lives. And
wow.
Yeah.
So here's my take on that. I don't mean it. So I pay about $40 for my cut.
Okay. Yeah. Same.
Right. And I throw a nice tip on top. I like to throw $10 on top of it. Shout out to Nay.
Yeah.
Royal Cuts Grooming out in Bladensburg.
Yeah,
pull up. They will take care of you. She will get you right. My fade is always like that.
Yeah.
When I pull up. People have a habit of, when you have a lot of money, paying more money for the same service and quality of something that everyone else is getting. You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
And let me let you know, when my money go up, I will not be doing that because it's stupid.
All right, so what happens if Nay is like, I mean, nah, bro, you're a millionaire. Like, you gotta pay me.
You shouldn't be counting my pockets. Doesn't matter if I'm a millionaire because I'm the same customer you had before.
Let me ask you this:
if everyone else gets the same price for the same cut, why am I paying more money?
Are you going to get more frequent cuts? Are you taking her on the road with you?
No, if I pull up to the shop like I do, like I come back around the way.
You're on tour. You traveling.
That don't have nothing to do with you.
But you need a barber with you while you're touring.
No, maybe.
Okay.
But if that's not the case, and I'm just going to the shop to get a cut, I've been doing for the past few years, I should be paying the same amount of money. That's like saying, oh, because you got a lot of money, now you have to go everywhere you go. You have to pay more money for something. So now every time I go to Whole Foods, they're gonna be like, yo, before you buy these items, can you type in your net income? They're like, oh, you make a lot of money. You're actually going to pay more.
You're
for
right.
this.
Yeah, no, you're right. I don't agree with it, but I'm just saying people's expectations of you change definitely when they know what type of lifestyle you live in.
That's not my business. And that's we're going into a deeper topic right now, but this wasn't supposed to be a deep topic.
Yeah.
So first of all, Safari, you wild. And second of all, it's crazy that he's the person that said that because I know you saw that picture of him when he had what's that black stuff?
That Beijing.
When he had the Beijing.
Yeah, that thing was dark.
It added an extra inch to his hairline.
At least an inch or two.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So I can see why he paid $100 because they had to paint that.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, that's a lot of work. That's symmetry. That's what they had to get the algorithms right and the geometry.
Right.
The geometry, the trigonometry, all the geometries all right to get that Beijing lined up like that. That's crazy.
Well, listen, I'm gonna give a shout out to my barber,
please.
Tyson over at Wise Cuts.
Mike Tyson.
I go, yes, Mike Tyson too. I'm gonna give a shout out to him, but my barber Tyson. Shout out to Tyson, man. He gets me right, and he just good conversation, man. And he's also Greek, and which is cool, man. Like having conversations. He is a Sigma. The two of us are alphas. In case anyone who's listening didn't necessarily know that, but
very much so.
It's just always cool to have that type of connection and. And he gets you right, but yeah, his price is $35 or $40, and I usually will tip him well, and a lot of it is just his service, like his customer service. Like I know that he looks out for me, he cares to try to squeeze me in.
That's facts.
And that type of treatment that you get from your barber is definitely valuable.
Absolutely.
I'll say this though, I think when I get to the point where I'm making the money that I want to make doing music and traveling and whatnot, I feel like I probably would have my barber on some type of small salary where I'm able to, hit him up and say, I need you to come to my house once or twice a week, make sure my lineup is good, make sure that the fade is right. Or, hey, look, I need you, because if you're pulling them away from their shop for 2 months or whatever to go on the road with you, you got to make sure you're taking care of him, him or her and their family. So
yeah, if that's what you want to do, I was thinking more of just keeping it simple. Like if a celebrity just walks into your shop and they want to get a cut, you shouldn't be charging them more than you charge anybody else. If you're just giving them the same quality of service that you give other people, you can't count other people's pockets. It should be
right. Yeah, I agree with that.
If they decide to tip you more money because they have it. Yeah. Then you appreciate that, but you'll be like, oh yeah, I know you. I checked Google and it said that you made $7 million last year, so that's gonna be $250.
Now let's be real. Safari is probably going to a celebrity barber, and their price is gonna be $100 or whatever. They probably get paid $100 an hour or whatever the case is. This tweet was a flex for me.
It's a bad flex. Yeah, it's nasty.
It just was, and it wasn't.
And the dollar sign was after the numbers.
Yeah, which is just completely ignorant.
And the inch long Beijing.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on with him.
Yeah, that's not it.
But yeah, man. So I'm not sure what happened with it. But I think we both we agree on it. You don't have to pay anybody $100 for a haircut. And I'm not quite sure what Safari was doing that day, but.
I'm dead.
If he is paying that much, hopefully he can find someone else.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
But I'm also dead at that. Oh, and speaking of Sigmas, DJ from last night at J-Ho's album release party, DJ Soul. Shout out to him. He is also a Sigma. He brought that up last night.
Nice.
So I just wanted to make sure I shout him out. Great DJ. we're definitely gonna do some work in the future. Shout out to DJ Shoal, shout out to J Ho, shout out to all the other artists in attendance. Shout out to my video man, the video god, my boy G Hatch, Gerald Hatch. We had a great time. Any movie that you've seen from me, Hatch has shot it.
Yep.
So we got a nice community out here in the DMV of artists, and we're trying to bring that community together. One more person to shout out. Shout out to Alex Vaughn. If you don't know Alex Vaughn, the singer, you know of Alex Vaughn? She's a pretty popular singer popping out here. I've performed at one of her open mic events. She actually just signed with LVRN.
Oh, cool.
So now she's going to be over there with who? Black and Summer Walker. Well deserved. She's a great artist. She's been working hard for a very long time. So I just wanted to make sure I shout that out too.
Nice.
DMV is up.
Yeah, man. And that's something that we definitely want to use this platform for, really pulling artists together in this area to start off, and then we'll just, expand from there. But for sure, there's a lot of talent here in the DMV. And,
sure.
This is really cool to kind of be plugged in and a part of that really good talent.
Yeah, we got to stand firm in that. And DMV artists, just like we had last night in the event, us sticking together and bringing our audiences together and putting on shows is definitely going to help to build up the value of our music scene here in the DMV, because we can be just as big as Atlanta, as New York, as LA, as anywhere else if we stick together and do it together. Not once somebody signs a deal, then they're never back in the DMV anymore. You know what I'm saying? We need to still see you out here. We need to see you on U Street at Oohs and Eyes. We need to see you out here.
Who are you talking
moving
to?
around. I'm not talking to anybody. I'm not talking to anybody. I think I'm talking to myself as I continue to move forward.
Right, I feel you.
Making sure that I don't forget where I came from.
I'm gonna forget.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm joking, man. Nah, but I'm definitely gonna be in LA.
Yeah.
So look, I think that we had another topic that we wanted to hit. But if you're cool, I'm kind of ready to jump in.
Let's jump in.
I'm ready to jump in, man. So, first up on the list, we want to revisit some of the conversations that we've had in the past. We love y'all's feedback. We love it when y'all, hit us up and you like, nah, y'all were tripping, or like, I actually think this or that. So I see that you put here on the list, you want to revisit the Sisqo versus, and possibly Omarion. I see that you wanted to do a hot take on that.
So my hot take was, I could kind of see a parallel when I mentioned like verses in general and possibly Sisqo having one, and I think we said who, Jodeci. Don't kill me, y'all, but I actually kind of see a parallel where Sisqo and Omarion could have a versus. I understand that they're from two different practically like decades of music. I don't know if they overlapped at all, or maybe like in his B2K days or anything like that. But they were both in groups, right? Both in groups that were very successful. They both had very successful solo careers. They both had big records, and I thought that might be interesting. And they both sing and dance. I thought it might be interesting, and I think it would be the first time in verses where they kind of pulled people from different eras, to compete against each other. I thought that might be kind of cool.
I don't think I want to see that.
Because after the thong song, you can play Touch.
Yeah,
so thong song, then it's
Touch is a hit, but nah, I'm good. I'm actually completely good on that. I'm good on it. Like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to.
But do you think that's a bad?
No, it wouldn't be a bad matchup.
It makes sense, right?
It would make sense, but I'm trying to think of like what I want to see, like what I want to jump on IG or Triller and like watch. And I actually don't want to see. I don't want to see Sisqo versus Omarion. But
and I'm gonna keep it a break with you. Omarion gonna win that joint, but.
Yeah, I mean, Omarion he actually does have hits.
What?
I think that
Omarion slept on, actually.
Yeah.
They doing a little TikTok challenge of him doing that dance, but Omarion is actually a legend.
He is.
Yeah. That old album is definitely his pivotal album. We don't even have to have the whole discussion and go down his discography. That's the one. And
You Got Served is definitely a classic.
If it out. I'm always going to do it for Lil Saint. So
I'm doing it for Lil Saint.
I'm doing it for Lil Saint.
Yeah, man. Okay, well, I mean, hey, we never know. Versus folks, if y'all listening,
hey,
consider.
You
also have you wanted to circle back on Real King of R&B. You want to revisit that.
So I wasn't sure if I said it. I did go back and listen to the episode. I did mention him, but I actually want to double down and triple down on this, because the things that I said about, for example, Michael Jackson being the king of pop, I said, someone whose music is played by many people all over the world, different cultures. They play your music at certain times of the year.
Yep.
It's universal, and you have numerous hits. Stevie is the king of R&B.
Okay.
And soul. Yeah.
That's fair. I mean, I know he tossed his name in the ring or whatever.
Yes.
And, that's not a crazy.
Yeah.
That's not a crazy
I don't. Yeah. I mean, if if you were to put Stevie up. I know you mentioned Luther, Stevie and Luther. If they had a versus, Stevie would definitely win that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But it would be a celebration. It wouldn't be.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, that would be nuts.
That'd
man.
be crazy.
We miss Luther, man. Well, hopefully we'll see him soon in paradise or something. But yeah,
we don't want to say soon, but we'll Luther.
Luther. Which Luther? Skinny Luther or Big Luther?
Big, man. Come on, man.
Big dog Luther. Yeah.
But he was definitely, trying to make some more current hits when he got skinny.
Can I take you out tonight? Who wrote that?
It sounded like a Jaheim hit. It sounded like a Jaheim record.
I thought it sounded like Babyface.
As a writer, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Someone who could actually.
I'm gonna have to look that up and see who wrote it. I'm gonna tell you who I hope didn't write it. I'm gonna tell you who I hope didn't write it. And is that a topic on the list?
I don't know who you're gonna say.
Robert Kelly.
Oh, yes.
I'm hoping that Robert Kelly didn't write that.
Robert actually is a topic that is. Let's go ahead.
Let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, I'm gonna look up and see who wrote that song. But proceed, bro.
Robert, come on, man. So look, check it out. R. Kelly has been convicted. He had like 97 counts of. Nah, I'm exaggerating, but dude is probably looking at jail time for the rest of his life. A lot of things have surfaced. And a video actually surfaced recently where this man had somebody
oh my god
performance, and he was saying you only got to be 18 or older.
He said, who want to come home with me? Who want to play house with me?
Yeah, that's crazy.
You only got to be 8. And then he had some clown.
Yeah.
He said, you only got to be 18. And then he had somebody a grown man ran on stage with a sign with the number 18 on it and showed it to the audience. And they were screaming, What I want to know.
People are nuts, first of all, in the audience.
People are bonkers. What I want to know.
I mean,
I guess that was his audience. I don't know. Maybe that was his audience was like younger women, not necessarily women who were under 18, but women who were barely legal. I don't know. I don't know what the case was, but I want to know how much he paid dude to run on stage with that 18 sign.
Probably $100 with a dollar sign in the back.
That's very nice.
Come on, man. Come on.
That's nasty. So yeah, Luther is not Luther. Jeez, not Luther. R. Kelly. Yeah, he's probably done. I did see something after that said that he plans on pretty much snitching on any other musician in the music industry who was in that with him. So if he is, take them all with you, bruv. Take them all with you. You're not getting out, but he should. Yeah. Because there are too many situations where we live in a patriarchal society and men benefit from just being men to where they get away from things, especially men with money and power. You get away with things and you get to abuse people. And the thing is, you do these things to these women, and he was doing it to boys too.
That's wild.
You do these things and you assault these people and you traumatize them for the rest of their life for a few minutes of gratification for yourself. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you have access to anything in the world, but you're purposely going out of your way to attract younger people, like the stories of him visiting high schools and hanging out at the mall. You make way too much money to be at the mall. Like, imagine going to Pentagon City and R. Kelly in that joint. Like,
yeah, that's weird.
Why is R. Kelly at Tyson's?
That's
you know
weird.
what I'm saying? So he deserves everything you get. We all reap what we sow, and so if there are other people who are involved in that, take them.
Yeah, let me ask you this though.
Yeah.
Are you playing his music?
No, I haven't listened to R. Kelly music in a really long time.
All right, if it come on, you turning it off?
Probably.
Wow.
Actually, yeah, I'm 99% sure I turned it off.
I'm
gonna say this: the hardest one to not listen to out of his music is 12 Play.
Okay.
Only because the style of that music was so different, and that actually was his pivotal album.
Okay.
Right, but we're not going to dive deep into his music because he doesn't deserve a breakdown. But that album is. As a student of music, I would want to go back and listen to it to analyze it and learn from it, the structure of the songs and everything, the same things we always talk about every episode, not to enjoy it. So if I were to ever play it again, and I'm not saying I will, it would definitely be in an analytical, scientific capacity and not in the, this is my jam capacity. You won't hear me step in the name of love ever again. Okay. I do not believe I can fly.
Okay.
That's crazy because he messed up all our graduations from 3rd grade.
Yeah. And Ignition.
The remix is gone.
The remix.
Fiesta. No more Fiestas.
No more Fiestas.
Dang. He had one job. Dang. Leave people alone. Nah, he couldn't do that. I don't know the whole time, people.
No, not the whole time. Yeah, man. For me, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna jump in my car and turn on R. Kelly. But if I'm at a wedding and a song come on, I can't make any promises that I'm not gonna leave. I can't make promise I'm gonna leave the dance floor. But I might have a conversation with the DJ afterwards and like, don't do that to me again.
So if Step in the Name of Love, come on, you gonna step?
I might.
You gonna step side to side?
I might. I'm not gonna lie. But
I'll probably sit that one out. But when that Cupid Shuffle come on,
you getting up.
Down, do your dance.
Sweating through the dress shirt. That's crazy.
I'm in there. I'm in there for that joint. And when the Cha Cha Slide come on, I'm still waiting for part 2. Part 2 coming soon.
Bro,
that
what happened to it?
Never came. Where is Duke at?
Where is it though?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But where is it?
Oh, you know what's? Hold on, time out. You know what's another song that's in that realm that doesn't get enough praise? Remember that one joint? I remember it was an older guy. A little bit of Jessica in my life, a little bit of Rita on the side. That was a banger.
It's something 96.
Man, that was a joke. We gonna ask Google something. Hey, y'all listeners out there, if y'all remember what song it is, please let us know because that joint was a banger. And a little bit of Rita is all I need. I was like, dang. I was like 10, like, oh man, this is a hit.
I want to say that elementary school was pretty lit with the line dances.
Yeah. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Shout out to all the line dancers. We not stepping in the name of love because we clearly have other options to get to.
Can you pass the Jameson, please?
I absolutely will.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Wow.
Yeah, okay, it's a slither in there. We're having a little like a little potluck of whiskeys today.
Potluck.
You know
That's good.
We didn't run to the store today. We had a lot going on.
Wow.
So we got the Jameson, we got the Honey Jack, and we still got the Gentleman Jack. We kind of bouncing around with those, and then we got some bros coming. Apparently, not apparently, we got the bros pulling up later to celebrate my new single, My Baby, that's out right now on all digital streaming platforms, and they're actually bringing tequila. So it's one of them nights. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna fellowship with the brotherhood.
Fellowship, that's good.
That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
You know what I mean? So what else you got on the topic list?
So I wanted to. This is actually something that we've had on the list for a couple of weeks, and I wanted to talk about it. So Andre 3000 he's an artist that we talked about. I think episode 2.
Legend.
And we went into like what he was talking about with the verse that he did for Kanye and it getting leaked and things like that. So recently he's resurfaced, but he also said that he believes that you can age out of a genre. And the way that he put it was hip hop, you need to be hip, and you need to make sure you exit before you're no longer hip. Do you think that you can age out of a genre?
No. I think I understand where he's coming from. I think big corporations and big labels make us feel like you can age out of a genre because styles can change. You know what I'm saying? Like the era when Outkast was coming up is completely different than like what we have now and like mumble rapping or these dudes, they really out here trying to sing and rap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think the style change. It's like we talked about before about like maybe like conforming to whatever's going on, that kind of thing. I think hip hop is, first of all, it's probably the youngest genre out of them all. Yeah. Right. So no one really knows what it's like to get old in hip hop yet. And I think platforms like Versus and people like watching Jay-Z and watching Nas and watching them move is they're helping us to write the blueprint, pun intended, on how to age gracefully in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And really, the same way I talked about Usher is saying like, being willing to take that big brother or that, that kind of like, I don't want to say uncle stance but that big brother stance in hip hop is, Jay-Z does a great job at it. You have older rappers now, like the guys who are blowing up now are older. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like Jay-Z dropped his first album when he was like 26. You got the guys from Griselda, who they're all I think they're in their 30s. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we're all older, and you start to understand that you don't need to be 16, 18 in your 22 to be a musician. I don't think you age out. I think you figure out how to make it work for you, and you keep moving forward like that with your core audience.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm gonna speak from a different perspective. So I think you hit the nail on the head with hip hop. Yeah. And I know that's his genre, and it's kind of hard to say Andre 3000 is strictly hip hop because the one I know, he's also a little crossover, and absolutely. And that's kind of a lot of times the perspective I'll speak from as a crossover artist. I look at artists who are able to do it. And I think it's a challenging feat to reach to be able to cross over to different genres, right? So I think that instead of looking at it as like you can age out of a genre, I think that it's an opportunity for you to experiment a bit and to be able to see what you're able to do. And I think that that's something that he started doing before he exited out. So like Hey Ya and stuff like that, like a completely different sound, right? For them. And then him and Big Boy being able to kind of find a different path for themselves. That's what you got to do so that you can stay relevant. And they're still making classic music.
Yeah. I took it as him saying that he doesn't want to try to keep up with the Joneses and try to compete with the younger guys as far as the style of music they make, because he is a pioneer of the sound that they make now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? No, like, we can't get that twisted, because he was the one that was singing on the track. He was the one, Hollywood divorce. You know what I'm saying? He was a rapper. He was singing on the track. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So, but I get what he's saying.
Let me say this though. So he, that's what we were kind of talking about last episode with Chris Brown and stuff like that. We're talking about the king of R&B and staying relevant. And is the writing still good? Is the music that you're making still good? And I think that's what he's really getting at.
I agree.
You want to have quality music, and if you keep trying to keep up with the young guys,
it ain't gonna happen.
It might be a little, little watered down.
Yeah, because that's not where you came from. But I mean, if you're a real student of, and you still want to continue to learn, there is a way for you to kind of morph it. Put your own spin on it and make it cool. I think Kanye is doing a good job at that, actually. Yeah. I went back and listened to Donda, and it's actually a lot better than I gave it its initial credit for, because it still gave us Kanye. There were a couple of spots where I was kind of, I was like, I'm not sure what you're doing. But at least he was willing to try.
No, for me, that's Kanye.
Yeah, and it didn't feel like he was forcing it. You know what I mean? It felt like, I'm trying something new. This is what's moving right now. Let me put my spin on it. So, yeah, it's an interesting thing. But, I mean, if rock stars can get old and continue to tour and put out records, you know, if pop artists, Maroon 5, they're getting Maroon 5. How old is Adam Levine? Is he 50?
He's probably up there.
So they probably, he might be older than Andre 3000 or whatever. They up there, you know what I'm saying? If they could keep dropping records, anyone can do it, you know?
That's real. So I on one hand, I understand what he's saying. On the other hand, I'm not quite sure if I agree, because we've seen people do it, and it's not corny, and they figured out a way.
There's layers to it.
I actually wish that we could have gotten more music from Outkast, honestly, but I think it was deeper than them trying to get out of the game before they weren't cool anymore. I think there were some differences happening within the group, and
things change. You kind of want to spread your wings a little bit, do different things.
Yep.
I mean, Andre 3000, he pops up. You get a treat when he drops verses.
Yep.
Big Boy had recently dropped something that I liked. If I find it on my phone, I'll definitely mention it. He had dropped a record recently where he was like just riding in his car in the video, just spitting while he was driving, and it was fire.
I mean, of course,
he was spitting, so it was just like, you can continue to do whatever you want to do. I think it's this one right here.
Do you think that
lowercase Big Boy, lowercase Sleepy Brown?
Shout out to Sleepy Brown? Do you think that staying relevant is genre specific? Like, do you think that what Andre 3000 was saying would only apply to hip hop, whereas like country or rock or pop or R&B or any other genre, it's a bit easier for you to to stay relevant and grow and age with your music?
It's interesting. I think genres that are heavy in the black community are the ones that are, I'm not going to say necessarily the most creative, but they have the most movement. Right, so they switch up. We had New Jack Swing, we had 90s, we had mad slow jams. You know what I'm saying? We had all kind of different genres. And all of it still fits under the umbrella of R&B, soul, hip hop. I just think black music just continues to grow and morph into different things. I think it happens more than it happens in other genres, and other genres actually take from hip hop. You know what I mean? Like country music is having they got trap drums and stuff in it. It's a lot of different things going on. Pop artists, they always want to throw a black hip hop artist on their more edgy song. You know what I'm saying? We got to get a verse from Future for this song. Things like that. So I think hip hop is just one of those things where it was very similar to the way rock took over, but hip hop's not going nowhere.
Nah.
You know what I mean? I don't see it ever dying down, because it has a life of its own, and it continues to turn into something else.
Yeah.
So it'll continue to grow, and you got to grow with it. And that doesn't necessarily mean you got to conform to the sound, but if you want to challenge, sure, try to play around with it and see if you can kind of see what's do what's going on. But you don't have to completely go left
right,
and be just like somebody else, but you can be inspired by the things that are happening, and you can test the waters, and you can. I like how Andre 3000 said he wanted to collaborate with a lot of these newer artists.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
cool.
People that we would have never thought.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like
cool. Yeah.
who he said, he's a little baby, like a little baby. Andre 3000. That joint might be fire.
I mean, imagine you're in Lil Baby's position. You know, you're a newer artist, and you got somebody like Andre 3000 saying he would love to collaborate with you.
That
means
crazy.
You're doing something right.
That means you're doing something right, man.
Yeah.
So I like that a lot. So I'm looking forward to seeing whatever else he does. I hope that record that he had with Kanye, I hope Kanye strips that verse and puts a more heartfelt one in there to match Andre 3000s, and they drop that because that record was great.
He won't. It makes too much sense.
Dead.
Yeah.
What
So yeah, I mean, so you know,
we'll tie that up in a bow.
Yeah, I think that we're good on that one.
Cool.
We're moving through this episode, man. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah. It's good content, man.
And you know, it's just.
And we want y'all to know, y'all can also, DM us, DM in the pod account, DM me and Brandon, and if things you want to talk about, let us know. You know what I mean? Like we had an example of, we're gonna figure out what we're gonna call this section of like the feedback and the pushback we kind of get from you guys based on our takes on things, and we got I got one from my brother Pierre. Shout out to Pierre and his beautiful children and his beautiful wife. I love you, brother. My brother Pierre hit me up and he said, yo, Chris Brown's most pivotal album was his first one. He said that's the one that had Run It, Excuse Me Miss, Gimme, Gimme, Gimme. He not wrong. That was a good, strong album.
It was a good album.
But I don't know, Pierre, my brother, I don't know if front to back, if that joint going to line up with Fame. That's why I picked Fame. But I understand where you're coming from because that's the one. If we're using the word pivotal, then you are correct. That is the one. I think
that we need to define pivotal because you and I typically go to, start to finish, the most hits on the album.
Yeah. So maybe we should say the most complete album.
Yeah. Yeah, most complete. Because I mean, like if we're talking about pivotal, a lot of times the person's debut album is the one that's putting them on the map.
Yeah.
And I actually got some pushback from my cousin Tay and a friend of mine, MLP. He, both of them were kind of saying, look, y'all a little too young to understand that My Way and Usher's self-entitled album, those were actually pretty pivotal. I know y'all were talking about 8701 and Confessions, but don't forget, where he started. Yeah. And I was like, y'all, you're right. I was 6. I was 6 when, I was 4 when Usher kind of got started, but and you're younger than me. So you probably weren't even talking yet, so so they're right. Like, I mean, but
I like it.
So please DM us, let us know. I mean, we definitely probably stand our ground on both of those. I'm definitely, if you're gonna go toe to toe with me, I'm gonna still say Fame and I'm gonna still say Confessions. Yeah. But
those are the ones that had the most hits.
I hear y'all.
What word did I use? Most complete. Those are the most complete ones. We talked about Fame. It had 17 tracks or 18 tracks, and we said we thought 17 out of the 18 were hits.
That's scary.
So that's where we're going with it. But I love it. I love the pushback feedback. We're gonna find a way to name the episode, and I think we should name this episode Pushback Feedback just because it's funny.
Let me ask you a question, man.
Talk to me, dog.
And this is something that I can talk about all day.
I feel like I'm about to be dead.
Are managers still necessary for independent artists?
We did bring this topic up.
Yeah. Are they still necessary?
All right, so. Artists? Forget the independent artists. Are managers necessary, period.
Okay.
Right now.
We can go that route.
Man, I'll put it to you like this. So specifically for independent artists, because you're not signed to a label who has a whole team presented to you or whatever the case may be, you have to learn to do a lot of things yourself. Right?
Yep.
So like you and I talk about, like I've had a team at one point and it didn't really work out because I felt like I was doing more work, than everybody else was doing. It's one of those situations where you learn so much about it that my philosophy is do it yourself until you can pay someone else to do it better.
Sure.
That's my personal philosophy. So I think independent artists, as you learn to do different things and you learn how to completely run your business, I think an assistant is more important than a manager.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it cuts out you putting that money up, that 15%, every time you do something, you paying somebody else, I think artists had the luxury before of not really needing to conduct any actual business.
Sure. Yeah.
They got to just make music and perform and be artsy all the time, but that's not the reality we live in anymore. Even labels are preferring that you are more established before they even sign you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it cuts down on how many people you got to talk to, you know what I mean, as far as like going through different people. It cuts down on things going through more than one pair of hands. You know what I mean? I like the idea of just having an assistant over having a manager right now. That's where I'm at.
For me, so I've had a few experiences, where managers have definitely come in handy. So I used to be in a group called For Sure. Shout out to my bros For Sure.
Shout out to For Sure.
And we went through a few managers, right? Like For Sure, we weren't necessarily the easiest group to manage, and but it was because we knew our image, we knew our sound, and we knew how we wanted to break into the industry. And with that, we had to find the right fit in a person who could manage our work. Yeah. And that's really what the important part is. So I say that they came in handy because sometimes when negotiating or discussing contracts or different gigs that you want to do, or even studio time or working with producers and stuff like that, you don't necessarily, as the artist, want to be the person who has to be the hammer or the person who has to, speak aggressively and handle that business, because it definitely impacts the work that you do when you all are creating. For example, we were working with a producer, and there were some business conflicts happening. And I know for a fact that if one of us would have been the ones, approaching him on some business type stuff, when it came time to hit the studio and start creating and, producing around things and writing, there's some tension in the room. Whereas you're able to separate the business from the music. And not everybody's able to do that artist to artist, but you can definitely do that a lot easier when you're speaking to the manager, and you got some feelings towards my manager, but that business stuff has nothing to do with what we're creating in this space. And those times are definitely useful to have a manager.
I think that's interesting though. I feel like you can still, even if that tension is not coming from you as the artist, this tension can still exist. You know what I mean? Because if you having, for example, like a situation where you're having an issue with a producer, the producer still knows that manager works for you. Yeah, but so they're going to assume that take or that viewpoint that they're coming with is coming from you in the first place. You know what I mean? Yeah, so what's the difference?
But the difference is that person speaks on your behalf. So there has to be a separation where whoever you're doing business with knows that you discuss business with my manager, and we discuss creative space and music, and that there has to be that conversation. And I'm saying that with me having a manager, that's when it's been the most successful. Yeah. Now, I've also been in situations as a solo artist with management, and I've grown to have friendships with people who I've had managed me in that space. But kind of like what you said, personally, if I'm going to have management right now at this point in my career, it has to be someone who's able to do more for me than I'm able to do for myself. Yeah. Otherwise, I function as far as an artist from the perspective of like a business. Yeah. So I know I'm kind of a small growing business right now before I become a major corporation. Mm-hmm. And in that, I subcontract, right? Like I know, okay, cool. I need somebody to hit up, like to do some graphic designs. I got my guy to do that. Okay, I need some video done. I got my guy to do that. Okay, I need somebody to do production. I'm gonna hit up Greyson, right? I got different people for what I need. And that's a good spot to be in. Mm-hmm. So when the time comes and I'm like, all right, cool, I'm getting signed, I got a team already. Yeah. I'm ready to go. Yeah. And, and hopefully those people will, kind of come on board because we've been working together for the past few years. But that's more so the direction that I feel like you should be in. And you should really be able to manage yourself right now as an independent artist. Yeah.
I mean, I guess looking at it from the standpoint of like what I'm saying, like an assistant and then the manager, it can be very similar.
Yeah, I agree.
You have your desires, your wants, and your needs to get things done, and then you tell them like, "Yo, just go have these conversations." But I'm not a fan of personally right now. I'm not a fan of feeling the need to talk through somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm cool with having somebody else follow up and kind of enforce the things. You know what I'm saying? And keep track of my schedule and keep track of things I want to do. But I'm all for having the conversations myself. And then, like you said, like contracting or, whatever the case may be. Okay, I got a lawyer here. I got a booking agent right here who's going to help me with the shows. I got tour managers, that kind of thing. But I'm all for trying to keep it as small as possible. And I don't necessarily think I don't think a manager is as necessary right now for independent artists because we've been working so hard as independent artists to get established ourselves. Yeah. That it's like, oh, so now that I'm moving, I'm more successful. Now I got to bring somebody else in and then split the money up.
Just kind of looking at it from a different perspective, right? Yeah. So it's like having a girl who you're with before you blow up, right? It's nice to have that person who believed in you before you were big.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm pushing you. I believe in you. I'm doing this for nothing. Or I'm gonna take I might take a small percentage of this, but I'm not even really doing this for the money. I believe in you as an artist.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful thing when you actually do make it, and that person is still with you.
Yeah, it's a case by case thing.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I'm sure there've been people who've had that situation. I've had people say that to me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like I've had people who are like, "Yeah, I want to manage you." They
believe in you.
What I'm saying? Yeah, I believe in you, and then when it was time to work, they didn't do no work.
Yeah, I mean that's a problem right there.
Yeah, so it is what it is. That's just how it goes. So, but at the end of the day, you know who you can depend on 100%.
Absolutely.
So if it succeeds, all right, I know I did my part. If it fails, then I know who to blame. Just blame yourself.
I would say as independent artists, what's more important to have is a strong team around you.
Yeah,
that's what's important. Mm-hmm. And then you'll know when you're at the point where, all right, I think I might need a manager or I might need an entertainment lawyer because I'm starting to get more contracts and I don't want to be taken advantage of.
Right.
But
those things are different.
Yes, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like I have a couple of like lawyers I can reach out to if a contract hits the table, but that don't necessarily mean that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I'm just not big on someone else going to meetings about me and for me. You know what I mean? I feel like moving forward, I should be there at all times.
Of course, of course, yeah.
So like, I don't need anybody speaking for me. You know what I mean? Like, unless I just feel assistant is a little better because that's somebody who they're gonna keep track of everything for you, but it's never them in front of you speaking for you. It's them with you side by side or right behind you.
Yeah. So
once I'm like, yo, we're gonna do X, Y, and Z. Make sure that get done. That kind of thing. It's real close. It's very tight. But
I will say too, kind of not even along with, but I agree with the assistant. Somebody who can respond to your emails for you is more professional. You're not hearing back from me directly. You hear back from my assistant. But another job that has been helpful for me in the past and having is a PR representative.
Sure.
So this is the person that is, establishing marketing plans for you. This is the person that will reach out to media outlets and, get you on radio or get you on red carpet appearances. Mm-hmm. Those are things that you definitely need, to kind of get you kickstarted as an independent artist or just as an artist in general. I mean, so that's another thing that could be helpful.
A big thing about it is very similar to when you're like applying for like a job. And they kind of want you, depending on what type of job it is, they want you to have a network already before you come work for the company.
Right.
It's that kind of thing. So if it's a situation where it's like a manager and they're established in the industry, like they've already managed other people and then like maybe they just moved on from it, but they still have those connections and they're positive and working relationships that can actually benefit you, then it makes sense. The pros just have to outweigh the cons. Mm-hmm. And you just don't want anyone who's just around and just, being a parrot to everything. Just out, you don't need all that because then it gets annoying, and then they taking 15%.
Yeah, and you know the difference. Trust me, you know the difference of somebody 100%. Who's just trying to make decisions for you, act like they know what they're doing.
Yeah. But people who try to put themselves and they want to be around you because they think you're talented, but they also feel like that's just going to be an opportunity for you to put them in rooms with other people that they want to connect with. That's not my job.
Whoever you choose as your manager, it should be a person that you know that they know what you would think. And you have to feel just as comfortable with them making a decision for you as you making a decision for yourself.
Yeah.
And also, this is a person that you would go to if you have a big decision to make for yourself and you trust their advice.
Yeah, and that takes a while to build that relationship. You know what I mean?
If you're not there, you don't need to have that person manage.
I think there's a possibility that someone can start out as your assistant and work their way to being your manager.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I just feel like the time it's a relationship. It's like dating somebody. You know what I mean? You don't really know if they look good in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? But you don't know how shorty gonna react.
Yep.
When it hit the fan. You know what I'm saying? When real serious things happen. So you can't have somebody around you don't really know their character, and you're not gonna know a manager's character right off the bat.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
But that's why you don't pay anybody straight up, right? Like you first of all, you really shouldn't be paying a manager anything, right? A manager should be getting money off a percentage of the work that they get you. So if you ever have anybody say, hey, look, I'm a manager, you know what I'm saying?
They're looking for a salary.
Hey, look, I'm a manager, blah, blah. But, listen, you're going to put me a little money in my pocket.
Yeah, if I'm getting paid, I'm only getting paid when we doing shows and endorsements, things like that, then that's when you get paid too.
And those are shows that you got me.
Yeah.
I'm not over here doing all the work and then you getting 15% off of me from working.
Exactly. So if I'm already working before I hire you, you shouldn't be, before you book me anything or you do anything for me.
Absolutely no, it's not.
Automatically start eating off of the work that I've already been doing.
No, it's not.
Absolutely no, it's not.
No, it's not.
You blocked that. It's 100% alpaca. What Denzel say? What's that clip that's going viral? I gotta watch that interview with Denzel and Jamie Foxx. He said, I'm from around the way. I'm leaving here with something. I gotta watch that, man. Yo, I used to tell people Denzel Washington was my father because my government name, my last name was Washington.
That's actually good. I have a unique last name, so I couldn't use that one. I wouldn't be able to use that
Yeah, man. I used to tell because I was like, when I was acting, I was doing musicals and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it was like, oh my goodness, you're such a good actor. It's like, where'd you learn? I was like, actually, my father is a good actor. He's like, who's your father? Denzel. It's like, really? I was like, yeah, you don't see it? They did not see it.
Wait,
but when people they lie to you, when they bang with you, they be like, oh, I do see that. I was like, I know you do. Oh, I'm gonna give you one of his lines. I'm gonna do the Denzel lip quiver. Yeah, and do the point that he do when he
the point.
He said that. That's 100% alpaca. You wipe that. You block that. He said, not on the phone. You got it? Nobody talk to me directly.
Great actor.
Denzel's the man, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, you said we got one more topic.
One more topic, man. So this is a bit more fun topic, man.
Oh, geez.
I know sometimes we get a little deep.
Yeah.
So this is a little more fun. So
I actually don't even know what you got.
Who could versus Missy Elliott? And before we even jump in, look, we always talk about the DMV.
Here you go.
I'm gonna go ahead and represent the 757. You know what I mean? Missy Elliott is from the 757, 7 cities. You know what I mean? I'm from Virginia Beach originally. That's our hometown. Home to Timbaland. You may have heard of him. Small artist. Home of Pharrell. Small artist.
What part of Virginia is Chris Brown from?
He's from Tappahannock. Tappahannock.
They said that one. Okay.
Yeah. Which is probably like.
You know where is that?
It's probably closer to Richmond area. Interesting. Yeah. So we can't claim Chris Brown. And Trey Songz is from Virginia as well.
Where's he from in Virginia?
Actually, I don't know. I think he's from Richmond area.
You know what Versus needs to do at some point? They need to do Versus.
Like a state versus. That'd be cool.
That'd be hard, right? So then, cool. But then you keep it. So if you want to make it into, I hope Swiss Beats and Timbaland hear this. Make it kind of like a game show kind of thing where they only get a certain amount of songs that they can play. So keep it at 20. You bring a few different artists together, but y'all only get 20.
That's good.
You know what I mean? So now you got to go through your discography and you got to pick songs. Like, all right, no. But let me swap that out for this, swap that out for that. I have my pick, though, for your Missy Elliott take. I'm going to let you go back and talk about Virginia first. Go ahead, proceed.
No, I was just going to say, going off of what you just said, imagine if they did something like that. You know how they're doing like the live versus or whatever now in stadiums? You go to your state.
Yeah.
That
you tag, it's like tags, and you tag somebody. I'm going to tag in Busta on this one, who is actually my pick as the person to face Missy Elliott in the versus. Yeah. That would be probably the most fun versus we have seen.
Yeah, I can see
Missy Elliott and Busta.
Yeah, that'd be good stuff.
Oh, that'd be so great. That's my pick, and I don't have anything else to say about it.
I think the obvious pick would probably be Lizzo. Because
I'm sorry. What?
But like, hear me out.
That's obvious.
Hear me out.
I'm gonna hear you. Let me take a sip.
The reason I say Lizzo, I mean, obviously the better versus is Busta Rhymes. Yes.
What is happening?
No, the reason I said Lizzo is because she's like a young.
She's not ready, bro.
Protege. No, she's not. But I mean, she has 20. She has 20.
No, she does not have 20. What? Lizzo does not have 20.
She got 20 lined up. Come on.
She don't have 20. And Lizzo would get smoked in the verses.
You're right. Okay,
and she shouldn't even be in the room. Shout out to Lizzo. I love you. I love everything about you, Queen. But you don't belong in that room yet.
Queen.
What?
Right, yeah. So you're probably right. I'm gonna take back Lizzo.
Walk that all the way back.
Yeah, because she might get smoked. I do think Busta is a good choice.
The one, bro.
I'm gonna go back though. The reason that I said Lizzo is because you got to think about versus as a business, right? And versus having two female artists who are very similar in that, Lizzo definitely is walking in the steps of Missy. I think it would be. What do you mean? Like she mentored her.
It's a hard no for me, brother.
That's cool.
It's hard, but I see what you're trying to say. But Lizzo's she's like a baby to me right now. She's been out for a while. Yeah. She's been out for a while because I went back and I listened to her music and her EPs from before. I think she had music going back to like 2016. I get it.
Yeah.
Lizzo and Missy too different, bro.
I do agree. I do think that
I'm trying to think of another woman artist.
That's more what I'm getting at. Like,
got you.
Having another female artist who is kind of walking the same lines as Missy, And a versus that I think she would do.
She's so unique that
but
it's hard.
It's supposed to be a celebration. Like
celebration.
I think a celebration.
Matter of fact, that's the name of this episode.
Yeah,
it's a celebration. Shout out to Dave Chappelle. I'm gonna go back to that in a second.
And I want to watch his special. I haven't checked it out yet, but
for sure.
I think a lot of times people miss that with verses and like, it's a battle like this. No, like these artists know they are successful but with that being said, I will definitely say that Lizzo is a very young artist to be trying to go against Missy Elliott. Mm-hmm. But I do think that it will be a fun versus to watch.
Yeah.
Now, if I had to pick someone to go against her, as far as having the music to go against her and music that is somewhat similar and from the same time, I think Busta is definitely the best choice.
That Busta Missy versus.
But she's not doing it. She's not gonna do it.
It don't move. I think she would do that one.
It don't move.
It don't move.
It don't move. I don't.
That would be a great one.
Missy, look, Virginia artists, man. I'm gonna go ahead and say this one thing.
Do it, bro.
A lot of Virginia artists have pretty much said they will only verse themselves.
Yeah.
And that,
Missy and Busta would be legendary, and they could do music together too, because Busta did some interludes and some intros on her albums. That would be fire, man.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be fire. Hey, I hope that happens. I love Busta. He's one of the greatest of all time. Missy, of course, is one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
If y'all at home, if y'all can think of, or wherever you're listening at, if you can think of another, we prefer a woman artist.
Yeah,
Busta's the pick right now. If you can think of another woman artist that you think could compete against Missy in the verses, please let us know, because we'd love to hear it.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about like shocks as far as versus like Keisha Cole versus Ashanti, like those two female artists.
I never thought that was a good matchup,
but it's a shock. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it was cool. It was, for me, it was cool to see. Right? Yeah. It was cool to see the two of them come back. I think that they've definitely like resurfaced as artists as of late. You're seeing a lot more of them after that, and I think that it'll be cool. But I guess I'm walking it back, because for me, it would be better to have a female artist who is from the same era as Missy, as opposed to someone newer like Lizzo.
I'm trying to, because Missy Elliott is such a legend, and she kind of varies over a couple.
I got it.
Who you got?
I got it.
I got two
I
picks,
got it.
But they're not good picks. Go ahead.
It is a good pick.
Who is it?
Eve.
That would be a good one.
Eve versus
She already
Missy.
went.
It don't matter.
That was a bad matchup too. I don't know why Eve went against Trina. That was crazy.
I have no idea.
You know who I was thinking? But maybe the two people that I'm thinking they should go against each other. I was thinking either MC Lyte.
She's a little too.
Or Queen Latifah.
They need to go against each other.
And I think they should go against each other.
Not Missy.
Not the game.
Not the.
We talking about practice.
Yeah, not the game. Not when I'm out there scoring 40 points. See,
that's
my life on the line.
That's the. Why was his life on the line? Talking about. I need to know why Allen Iverson's life was on the line when he was balling.
Not when I'm out there putting my life on the line. My life.
Playing basketball.
Dang.
Oh man. Oh, I got a quick story.
Yeah.
Did I tell you when I used to play ball that I went to Sixers camp?
I think you might have mentioned this.
Yeah, that's back when I was serious about playing basketball, and I did something very stupid. So, audience, pod squad, I used to play basketball, and I love the sport, and I'm pretty good at it, right? But when I was a kid, I was stupid, so I used to do dumb stuff. I was good. I was a little taller than everybody else, so they used to maybe play forward, but then they messed up and they had me run the point guard one time, and then that's when I found my calling in basketball.
Young LeBron. Young Magic.
I was, definitely Young Magic. Call me Houdini. Houdini King. Don't do that. So I got to go to Sixers camp, and I got to watch the team play, and I got to practice and play with Sixers legends. And my coach was, I don't know if y'all know World Be Free, but he's actually a legend. You should look him up. NBA player World Be Free.
Yeah, Meta World Peace.
No, World Be Free. Shout out to Meta World Peace, Malice in the Palace. Yeah, I did that. But when I say that I was dumb, so one day when I was like running intramural leagues, right? Mm-hmm. And I think I don't remember where I got these little tattoos from, but I was trying to be Allen Iverson, right?
Oh, wow, you had the sleeve?
I pulled a bunch of, you know how like 6ix9ine's tattoos look, where he's got a bunch of 6ix9ines on his arm.
That's crazy.
I pulled a bunch of little tattoos from somewhere, and before practice and before the game and the tournament started, it was like a tournament, I think. Before the tournament started, I went in the bathroom and I was in that joint for like 30, 40 minutes.
You didn't.
Putting on tattoos on my arms.
That's crazy.
And my mother came out and because I already had the headband on with the armband.
You thought you were him.
I was ready to ball.
You're number 3?
Nah, my number was either like, what number? I think I wore 10 back then.
Wow.
Because I like to pass. 10 or 64, those are my favorite numbers.
Wow.
Yeah, so my mother told me, she was like, you look ridiculous.
Mama get you right, man. Anybody get you right, your mama get you
my
right.
mama can get me right to this day, and I'm
Same.
always appreciated because you gotta have somebody who keep you humble. But I looked nuts. I had an arm full of the same tattoo as a sleeve with the armband on and the headband. I thought I was AI.
You definitely were 6'9" though.
I would never be 6'9" because I would never snitch in my life. But I just wanted to tell you that story, man. But yeah, back to the verses. Missy and Busta would be the pick. If y'all can think of somebody else to go against Missy, please let us know because Missy's a legend. She's in that realm where there's really nobody like her, so it's hard to find someone to compete with her.
Yeah, but when y'all send your suggestions, because this is something I was thinking about too. I'm gonna get some backlash for Lizzo, and I'm cool with it. It's fine.
Yeah, they're gonna spark you up for that.
That's cool. Chew me up. Chew me up. But but the reason I want I want to say this is make sure you think about the type of music that was made by each artist.
Yeah.
A lot of times in these verses they put artists together and they just don't match up. And Missy has a lot of like party records. She got some R&B songs. Like just think about who that could be.
Yeah. If we were going to bring back someone who already had a verses before, you know who would be good against Missy? Ludacris.
Yeah, I can see that. That's good.
Ludacris would be a good pick.
Matchups like that.
Yeah, it's because they both were very animated.
Yep.
They had big records. They had great features.
Yes.
Missy versus Ludacris would be a good one.
Yeah. Ludacris went against Nelly.
Yeah, that was a good matchup.
Yeah,
and I saw the versus calendar. I know they said they're going to redo some of those verses that had the lower quality. Yeah, I know they're going to redo some of those. I'm excited to see what they do. I definitely think they should redo the Nelly versus Ludacris one. They should redo the T-Pain and Lil Jon one. That joint would be crazy live.
Yeah.
That joint would be
I might have to
crazy.
go to that one.
Hey, I'm down, bro.
Yeah, I might have to go.
Wherever it's at, I'm down. We already said we're going to go to some NBA games this season because you're a Heat fan and I'm a Lakers fan.
Absolutely.
So we got to decide if we're going to LA or going to
And the
Miami.
Heat look insane already in the
Y'all
preseason.
look bonkers, bro. But
ready.
you see what we got going on.
Hey, look.
The game is the game. Hey,
I'm
making my predictions right now.
finals.
I see that 2020 bubble matchup in the finals. I see the Heat and the Lakers going to the finals again.
Yeah, it don't matter to the finals.
Yeah.
And by then, I mean, we all should we both should be in shape.
And since we're talking about that, after this podcast, I'm gonna go watch my girls, the Las Vegas Aces, the WNBA. It's the Western Conference Finals right now.
Yeah.
They're up against the Phoenix Mercury.
Mm-hmm.
Game 5, which is the equivalent of Game 7 for all my NBA watchers. So right after the pod, I'm going to watch my girls play. Shout out to Liz Canvey. Shout out to Kelsey Plum. Shout out to Asia Wilson.
Wow.
Shout out to Chelsea Gray.
Yeah.
They ball, bro.
Macy Gray and Russell Wilson.
Macy Gray.
Shout out to them, man.
Shout out to all of them. Macy Gray, Russell Wilson, man.
All of them, man.
But they've been balling, man. And like I told y'all, the second episode that I made a conscious decision to start watching female sports or women's sports. Excuse me.
You sound like you're into it, man.
I'm loving it.
Actually, the other night I was like, bro, I'm gonna watch it, man. I'm gonna watch it. And then it wasn't on. It wasn't on. It wasn't a night where of course it's the playoffs.
Oh yeah, playoffs every other day.
Yeah. So I was in it.
I'm gonna get y'all to watch tonight.
I'm about to say I might check it out.
Yeah, what time is it right now? We good on time.
Cool. So look, I think we ran through everything that we needed to hit for the night.
Yeah.
So now it's come to my favorite part of the podcast, where we jump into the recipe. For those of you who are new listeners, this is the portion of the podcast where one of us picks a song where we believe has the perfect mix, and we listen to a portion of it. We'll break down and analyze the song start to finish, every aspect of it, and we'll give you all the ingredients to what we believe to be the perfect mix, right?
Yeah.
The perfect song. Just a very well complete, very well done song. So last week you picked Dua Lipa, Levitating.
What a
Before
record.
that, yeah, it was great
Exquisite.
Great.
What did I say? Expenses.
Expenses. Everything about it is expenses.
Yeah.
And it's my turn this time.
Go for it, bro.
And I have a group that is expenses. And individually and together. And I'm excited about this one. And actually, they just announced that November 12th they're going to drop their album. This is Silk Sonic. The song that I'm picking is Leave the Door Open. So they dropped this song on us. It was just a different sound.
Yeah.
And Right now, you and I is going to take a listen to it, and then afterwards we'll come back and break it down.
Expensive.
It's expensive. Start to finish, man. Start to finish. I love that song.
Nice.
I remember when that song came out, and it was just such a different sound, man. Like different sound for this day and age, but not a different sound than what we were used to hearing. And I'm gonna tell you where this sound was pulled from. The sound is pulled from the 70s, which is so cool that an artist is able to take what's been created, right, bring it to present day, and it's a song that we all love and we can appreciate. It's well written, well done, and that just kind of lets you know you don't have to stick to the wave and do what everybody else is doing nowadays. Do what you feel is good. Do what you're inspired to do, and make it your own. And then put a little bit of present day stuff in there that makes it fit. And you know, I know that you definitely talk a lot about that. You don't have to conform to what everybody's doing nowadays. So with that, I'm gonna jump in and I'm gonna break it down, and you know, we'll go over to you, and I want to hear your thoughts on the song. But Leave the Door Open was definitely a breath of fresh air. It was something that was unexpected. It was really cool to see Bruno. So Bruno's one of my favorite artists. It was cool to see him, you know, talk about Anderson and say that he was kind of, you know, Bruno was saying he was kind of in a space where he wasn't necessarily inspired because he kept chasing the next hit. So when you have songs and hits the way that an artist like Bruno has, a lot of times you struggle with how can I match or make something better than what I've already done. And sometimes what's a healthy way of doing it is collaborating with another artist who can pull in fresh ideas and inspire you. And that's definitely what has happened here. And I'm definitely here for Silk Sonic, man. Like their sound is unique, and Leave the Door Open was a hit, in my opinion. It's a song that we're going to be listening to 15, 20 years from now. And so starting from the top, the way that the song comes in, you hear the live drums. It's definitely Anderson. Is it Pac or Pac? Pac, right? I believe it's Pac. I'm sure that people will correct us, you know, but I think it's Pac. So live drums. Anderson .Paak says he is a drummer first. We hear this throughout the entire song, right? So they're setting the tone with the instrumentation, and it's just clean. Everything about it is very, very clean, and you know that they were not rushing this. It was something where, you know, they were probably in quarantine, chilling, hanging out in the studio, and they wanted it to be right. So one thing I want you all to do when you listen back to this song after this, listen to the BGVs, listen to the background vocals. And I want to stress to you the importance of good background vocals, especially on a good R&B song. You can go through any R&B song in our history, and well, not necessarily in present, because there's not a lot of artists doing a lot of good background, but 90s, early 2000s, like focusing on good background vocals. And the background vocals really, really hold the song together. They're the glue to this song, along with the bass line. The live drums definitely keep the song driving, but those background vocals and then also the ad libs are so creative, and it's something that we do. So like something that we'll do when we're singing the song. So what you doing? Where you at? Where you at? You got plans? Right? Don't say that. Like those ad libs and just kind of being in the pocket, off the beat. Those are things that definitely add to the song. And I just want you all to make sure you just kind of listen to those things, because, you know, to most people, it'd be like, oh, that's really cool. But nah, that's very strategic. And is well done throughout the entire song. I know I touched on the bass line, but I want you to listen to that, because again, that bass line is definitely driving the song and setting the foundation. And then once you get past that, once you get past the verse, you know, where Anderson .Paak is leading, and you go into the pre-hook, you hear the song open up instrumentation wise, and it's, but I ain't playing no games, right? And you hear some ahs and oohs in the underneath, again, background vocals, but it opens up the song and it brightens it right before we fall back into the groove again in the hook. Leave the door open. He's sustaining more notes, and all of those things that I'm mentioning are giving us levels throughout the song, right? You got to have levels. So when you think of music, think of taking pictures, right? Models can't just stand there and take the same picture. You got to give people different looks, different shots to take. So all the way throughout the entire song, it's definitely giving us different levels and changing dynamics, and it's keeping us interested the entire time. Then we fall back into verse 2. Anderson .Paak comes back again, and he changes things up a bit, but not too much because it's not necessary. Now we know the song. Now we know the melody, and we're in the song. Then it takes us over to the bridge. And the bridge is just a cool moment because it keeps the song nice and open, and they're not overdoing it. But I want to say that Bruno's vocals definitely bring the song where it needs to be because he starts singing for a second. And this is definitely a song where you can't just be, talking the whole time. You got to have some vocals in there. And again, I'm gonna talk about Bruno this way because he's one of my favorite artists. But he definitely starts singing there. But then at the end, Anderson .Paak comes in, and he's not a super vocalist, but he gives us a lot of personality to the song. So really, one of the most memorable parts is Anderson .Paak's ad-libs at the end of the song. For me, the woo, 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 right? Like all of those things, you know what I mean? Like it's not perfection, but it's something that we remember about the song. And I was thinking about a group that this reminded me of, and I went and looked up a few of the Stylistics songs, and the sound from the 70s is definitely pulled from the Stylistics. A few of their top songs is You Are Everything, You Make Me Feel Brand, You Make Me Brand New, right? All that stuff right there. Bet your boy got me well. Right? Break Up to Make Up. Yeah. All of these things from the Stylistics, that sound, I think it was definitely encompassed in this song in a present day way, man. And I'm a fan of it. I'm ready for the album.
Yeah. I love it, bro.
Yeah.
He said, whoa, 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 whoa,
he did. Whoa, 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 he did, man.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Listen.
Did it full out, man.
That's exactly what I was thinking. This joint is giving Stylistics. It's giving whispers. It's
definitely whispers.
Giving some slight temptations. It's giving some slight OJ. It's giving. Yeah. You could even throw in the Isley Brothers.
BGs.
The BGs. Yeah, man. I mean, this joint. So first and foremost, the most important thing for me, or the first thing to note in this joint, is how I always talk about the type of writing style, right? Mm-hmm. What do I say, guys? Pod Squad, what do I say? It's either a conversation or a story. And this song is absolutely a conversation. He comes in, what you doing? Yeah. Where you at? He's talking to yo, pull up.
Yeah.
Or you got plans, don't say that. Mm-hmm.
You
don't say that. Come around the way. Yeah. So I love that first. That's the first thing that I noticed. I love the instrumentation. It's giving those classic vibes of the 60s and the 70s, right? Where you got not only a full band, guitar, bass, drums, but you got strings in there. You know what I mean? You got different things that add more color, more versatility, more personality to the overall song, right? Yep. Great writing. One thing I noticed about Bruno, especially in his, I thought so in his previous album, what was it? Doo-Wops and Cardigans. What was it called? Yeah. That's what it's called?
It's like doo-wops and something.
Doo-wops and shoe-ops. Yeah. Doo-wops and photo-ops. Whatever that album is called. I thought that his songs were...
Doo-wops and hooligans.
Doo-wops and hooligans. So not Cardigans, but I was close.
Yeah, you're
Doo-wops and hooligans. The songs and the singles that he had on that album were structured very well, right? So when I listened to this song and then I listened to 24K Magic, that album, it solidified to me that Bruno is very scientific when he puts his songs together, right? Oh, yeah. So you can feel the shift. It's like, all right, this is the chorus, this is the pre-chorus. Mm-hmm. I ain't playing no games everywhere. That pre-chorus, and then even down to if you're trying to walking it up, and that little walk up right there is taking you to that dominant chord, that 5 chord, right? Dun, 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 dun. And then right back to the tonic. So he's doing the basics of music theory when he's putting these songs together as far as the chord progressions are concerned, keeping the song very simple in that aspect, but letting the writing and the background vocals do a lot of the work for him. Great song, great writing, great structure. And then like Brandon was saying, when Anderson .Paak comes in, he's giving you pretty much the same kind of melody, but he's switching it up. So just like we discussed last episode, right? Adding embellishments and adding slight changes to it to keep it fresh, but it's not pulling away from the original concept of the song too much. You want people to still remember what it is because you want them to sing along with you, right? In the car, when they're listening to it at home, when they listen while they're washing dishes and they're cleaning their house, when they come to see you on tour. Mm-hmm. It's going to be easier for them to remember because the melodies are similar. Yep. But you add a little something to it to keep it fresh so it's not boring. That's great. The bridge is great. Anderson .Paak, we already know he's a master drummer. He's a master percussionist. So him playing those beautiful drums all throughout the song, I know that was him adding that spice in there, right? You got these background vocals. We know that's Bruno and his group. It's his group. What's his group called? His band.
They're the doo-wops. Okay.
Yeah, his band. I love watching them too, and they get to it. So hearing them get to it was great. The la 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 la.
That's great.
That's giving you the 60s and 70s all over. That's giving you stylistics for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I got another story for. I don't know if I ever told you, but I know a guy. I knew one guy from the Stylistics, not from the original group of the Stylistics. His name was Stu. He was one of my mentors. Stu there was a point in time when the Stylistics, they kind of like broke up and they added in new members, kind of like the Temptations when they brought in the other guy. Stu was a part of that group, and when Little Brother and I forget who's in that who was in there with him, but when they dropped that song, I can't remember the song. How can it be? Mm-hmm. Da, da, da. When they sampled that joint, Stu came with me. He was like, "Look at these young boys. They sampled my song and they didn't get permission." And he like,
"Oh wow,
yeah, it was a whole big debacle, but it was funny to see, man.
Gotta get permission, man.
You gotta get permission. So yeah, but that song right there, that bridge was definitely giving me stylistics. It was definitely giving me whispers.
For sure.
It was dope to hear. It's a great song, and now with the album coming, I'm excited to see what they do. I wish it would have came sooner, but better late than never.
Yep.
Let's get to it. I'm excited to see what they do. So break it down for me, brother. What's the recipe for this song? What makes this song perfect?
What makes the song perfect is having two artists come together and collaborate using their two styles and their gifts. Bruno is a writer and a musician first, right? Anderson .Paak is a percussionist, a drummer, a musician first. You hear that all throughout the entire song.
Yeah.
And then you got strong production, strong instrumentation, you got strong writing, strong delivery on the song. All of those things combined, again, they're two successful artists by themselves. When you come together and you have chemistry with somebody, you can't really fake that. And you can definitely tell that what they put on this song is something special. And they got Bootsy Collins mentoring them.
Legend.
You know what I mean? Like there's just a lot of chemistry and the right energy in the room with this creative process.
Did you know Bootsy used to play for James Brown?
Oh wow, really? I mean, I can see that.
Early in his career, he played with James Brown.
Yeah. So I mean, look, the recipe is you pull together the right people with the right talents and the right chemistry, and you get a very well written song. You get clean and perfect production. You get great background vocals, great writing, the right person leading the right section of the song, and everything being tied together and having the right ears in the room to get a song like Leave the Door Open. And we're still talking about it. I think the song is probably a year old at this point, and now we're hyped for the album. I'm not going to talk about Skate, the second single, but I think that there's a reason why they put Skate out, and I think Skate will definitely tie things together on the album.
I hope so.
So I'm that's my prediction for it. Skate's going to fit very well on the album.
So what I'll briefly say about it is, like I said, Bruno knows how to write a song, right? He knows how to structure songs using theory and understanding how songs influence people and where they belong, right? Skate came out at a very specific time in the summertime, right? That's what they were going for. They were going for the skaters in LA, who ride around with the short shorts and the high socks, the pretty women who skate around, everybody who's skating on Instagram and getting those videos off. They were definitely it's definitely a song for an endorsement and for sync licensing. When I heard it, I was like, this is a commercial song.
Placement,
literally for placements and commercials and all of that. I don't know if it panned out that way, and even if it hasn't yet, I think once the full album comes out and they push it a little more, it will do what it's supposed to do. But yeah, I agree with you. The song is so well structured. They did a great job. It had us at home like, damn, like, yo, drop the rest of the album already, or drop another single. We were waiting. We were talking about that with you and I and with our other bros. Like, yo, where is the rest of the music for Silk Sonic? I'm glad we have a release date. I'm glad we got something to look forward to. Yep. I think we're gonna have a great winter with a lot of good music coming out. Yeah.
Yeah, we got some good R&B coming, man. Yeah. Summer Walker is going to drop her album soon.
The second joint. I love what she's doing with her marketing.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah, man.
It is good.
You got to be creative with that.
Well, hey, look, man.
What's up, brother?
We got another successful episode of the Pod
Squad. We out here. We moving now.
Yeah, man. And
we cooking with grease.
We just want to let you guys know we definitely appreciate it. We see that you all are listening. We appreciate you guys just liking us liking our posts on social media and just showing us love at all times. We want this thing to grow, and it won't go anywhere without y'all. So we just want to say we appreciate you. If you're listening to us on Spotify or on Anchor, on Apple Podcasts, make sure when you listen, you guys just let us know how you're feeling on social media. And then we also we post on YouTube. So make sure you guys like and comment and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we just want to say we appreciate y'all.
100%, 1,000%. We appreciate you. And please, talk to us about it. Give us your takes on the things we discuss.
Absolutely.
We'll continue to try to put more polls in on Spotify. And maybe we'll take those things to Twitter and Instagram as well.
Yeah.
Where you can respond to us directly and just let us know your takes on the different topics that we brought up. We want to hear from you, and then we'll name that section, whether it's backlash, pushback.
Yep. I'm ready for the Lizzo heat. Let's go.
Yeah, that joint's definitely coming. That's crazy. You about to get smoked for that. If I got smoked for the way my mic sounded episode 2, you about to get smoked for that Lizzo take.
I can take it.
It's all good. You sure can, brother. But it's all, and that's what this is about. You know what I'm saying? We're about exploring topics and exploring just the possibilities in music. That's what it's all about. R&B, hip hop, pop, anything. I can't wait till we start to venture into different styles of music like country and all that. I got one country song that I heard a couple of years ago that I've been meaning to bring back.
Yeah,
it's so well written.
We gotta bring it in, man.
That I have to bring it in.
It's a celebration.
Matter of fact, you know what? The country song I'm talking about, I'm not gonna mention it. It is not Old Town Road.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm gonna actually do it for the next recipe because I know it's my turn. I'm gonna do that song for the next recipe, and I hope y'all understand where I'm coming from. You enjoy it. Like I said, it's always a conversation or a story. Those make the greatest records of all time. Yeah. So look out for that. I'm so excited that you have been listening. We can see you, we hear you, we love you, and we're gonna keep the ball rolling.
Yeah, man.
And keep the bottle pouring, or I guess
that works.
I was trying to find a transition to like whiskey, because we're not a sports podcast, we're a whiskey and music podcast. Yeah. So we're gonna keep the bottle pouring.
That's it.
Hey.
Well, hey, look, man, another successful episode.
I love it, brother.
Whiskey Wednesdays.
Let's go link with the brothers.
There we go.
Whiskey Wednesdays.
Hey, Brandon, pour me another one.